politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. Welcome to this live streaming of my channel to talk about the 1 year in office of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to give our own assessment of his performance so far, because what we are seeing today about the Tinubu administration need to be assessed not just by those in government. I'm talking about his ministers who have been telling us how good Tinubu has performed and how good the administration has done. So we're going to look at the administration now, and we'll start with the economy. We'll start with the economy. We're going to look at the economy. One of the highlights or the high points of the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the fact that since he became president on May 29, 2023, and today is 1 year in office, several multinational companies have exited from Nigeria. And these companies cited the various economic challenges that they have faced. They said that some of the challenges they face in living Nigeria was challenges as a result of economic challenges invariably caused by the policies of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and then operational challenges. This forced these multinational companies. So in the course of this interaction, we are going to see the list of the multinational companies that left Nigeria, and then the cost to the economy of their exit from Nigeria, so that we can have a better perspective on what is going on, or the 1 year anniversary of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in office. Now, these companies that exited from Nigeria, they blame it on economic and operational challenges, policy uncertainties. You know, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been praising himself that he has done so much reform that even the Guinness Book of World Record ought to give him an award. But those policies were viewed by the multinational companies as uncertain policies. There was uncertainty about those policies. And then another reason they gave for exiting Nigeria was the depreciation of the naira. And you know that in June 2023, barely a month after Bola Ahmed Tinubu became president, he floated the Nigerian currency, the naira, and said that demand and supply will not determine the exchange rate of the naira vis-a-vis the other international currencies around the world. So that caused a serious financial stress to multinational companies, many of whom could not cope, and they decided that the best thing for them, or the best option for them, was to leave the country. So these are some of the things that they said made them to exist: operational, policy uncertainty, operational challenges, economic challenges, currency depreciation, among others. They say all these things affected their profitability, and that was why they decided to leave. So we're going to look at now some of the notable companies that have left Nigeria since Tinubu became president on May 29, 2023. Now, among the top companies that have left Nigeria include Procter and Gamble, or better known as P&G. Now, Procter and Gamble is a United States of America consumer goods giant. It ceased its operation or its manufacturing operation in Nigeria because of the economic climate created by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So Procter and Gamble, a U.S. consumer goods giant, ceased its manufacturing operation in Nigeria. So it stopped manufacturing in Nigeria, Procter and Gamble. They now shifted to import-only activities due to the challenging business environment. So Procter and Gamble left. That's one of the achievements, if you like, or infamous achievements of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Under his administration, Procter and Gamble left Nigeria as a manufacturing giant. Another important number two company, multinational company that left Nigeria under Bola Ahmed Tinubu's 1 year in office is GlaxoSmithKline, now popularly known as GSK. Now, this British pharmaceutical company had ended its manufacturing operation or presence in Nigeria after 51 years. GlaxoSmithKline had been in Nigeria for 51 years. They have been doing business successfully in Nigeria for 51 years. But because of the poor economic policies of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they have ceased operation in Nigeria, opting to distribute its products through third-party distributors. Now, I told you earlier on that the number one among the top multinationals that left is Procter and Gamble, P&G. The second one is GlaxoSmithKline, GSK. Another multinational company that also visited Nigeria under Bola Ahmed Tinubu is Aquino. Aquino is the Norwegian energy giant firm. Now, it sold its Nigerian operations, including its stake at the Agbami oil field, making the end of its 30-year stay in Nigeria. This company, Aquino, had been in Nigeria for 30 years doing business, but the inclement climate that Bola Ahmed Tinubu created forced them to sell their stake in Nigeria Agbami oil field, ending 30 years of operation in Nigeria. So these are some of the multinational companies that left Nigeria because of the policies of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the last 1 year. Another company that left Nigeria, number 4, is Sanofi. Now, Sanofi is the French pharmaceutical giant that announced its departure in the last 1 year, and it handed over the operation of its distribution to a third party starting from February 2024. So the French pharmaceutical giant Sanofi left Nigeria under Bola Ahmed Tinubu because of the inclement condition that Bola Ahmed Tinubu created through his economic policies, which he was touting as being the best, for which he ought to have been given award by Guinness Book of World Record. But these economic policies created uncertainty operational stress for multinational companies like Sanofi, the French pharmaceutical giant. They decided to leave Nigeria. Now, number six multinational company that left Nigeria because of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's economic policy is Helion PLC. Now, this British multinational consumer healthcare company left Nigeria because of the same reason others left: bad operational environment, depreciation of the naira, uncertainty about the policies and programs of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his reform program. So Helion PLC, the British multinational consumer healthcare company, exited Nigeria. It's among the top multinational companies that the country lost as a result of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's economic policies and programs, or what he liked to call his reforms of the economy. Now, number six major multinational company that left in the last 1 year is Boat Food. Boat Food is the food delivery arm of ride-hailing company Boat. It discontinued its operation in Nigeria, according to it, to streamline resources and improve efficiency, given the fact that the operational environment in Nigeria in the last 1 year was difficult for it to continue to cope or for it to continue to exist. So Boat Food is the number 6 multinational company that left Nigeria in the last 1 year of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. Another multinational company that exited Nigeria is Jumia Food. Now, similar to Boat Food, Jumia has shut down its food delivery service in Nigeria to focus on its core business of physical goods and payment services, because according to them, the operational environment is not conducive to continue with its food delivery service in the country. Now, these companies exited Nigeria. These companies, multinational companies, they have left Nigeria. But what are the costs? What are the costs? What has Nigeria lost by these multinational companies leaving Nigeria? Because it is important for us to understand the cost so that you can be able to appreciate the damage that had happened to this economy in the last 1 year of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, the estimated cost to Nigeria from the exit of these multinationals is substantial. Now, reports indicate that a loss of around $400 million, reports estimated that about $400 million was lost by Nigeria. Well, thank you, my friend. Adetunde, thank you. I appreciate you. Now, the estimated economic cost to Nigeria from the exit of this multinational company is substantial. Reports indicate a loss of around $400 million in foreign direct investment. So these companies that left, Nigeria lost about $400 million in direct foreign investment as a result of their exit. Now, according to the estimate, this figure encompasses the asset values and the operational impacts associated with these companies' departures leading to losses of jobs and further economic strain in the manufacturing and consumer goods sector. So these multinational companies, you don't just look at it that they just walked away. It is the cost, what the country lost in their exit. The country lost about, according to report, $400 million. That was what was lost in the exit of these multinational companies that we mentioned here, among others. Nigeria lost $400 million. And of course, you know that when they stop manufacturing, those who work in the manufacturing sectors in those companies, they have lost their jobs. So the cost was huge. So Nigeria has really paid a price for the 1 year anniversary of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or 1 year that he has been in charge of the country. The Nigerian people, you can imagine what the fate of those who worked in those companies today. They are they have joined the millions of the unemployed Nigerians because the multinational companies, some of them operating in the country for the past 51 years, others for the past 30 years, they were forced to leave Nigeria because of the economic policies of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And some of these policies, is not that they are peculiar to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, like the removal of fuel subsidy, like the forex exchange challenges of trying to narrow the gap between the official and the parallel market rates, so that there will be no difference between them. That had been in the agenda of almost all the presidential candidates, but it was the way that Bola Ahmed Tinubu pursued it, especially his flotation of the naira, saying that demand and supply will now determine the value of the naira. But you can see, because of that depreciation of the naira, the uncertainty about it, that was why Procter and Gamble, GlaxoSmithKline, and all these people, is one of the things they hammered on, the depreciation of the naira, so that at the end of the day, their profits were wiped off. In 1 year, many of them lost billions in profit that was just wiped off because of that policy. So that said, but the country itself lost an estimated $400 million by their exit. And you can imagine what it means for a country like Nigeria to lose $400 million as a result of the exit of these companies. Now, in addition to the direct financial losses, the broader economic impact includes reduced investment in local infrastructure and diminished business confidence. You can see that because of the exit of these companies, it diminished business confidence in Nigeria, which now further hindered the growth of the Nigerian economy. For example, you heard about recently how a multinational, my friend Olu Akitoye, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. We are going to address that. He said we talk about the situation under Buhari. We are going to enter that. We are going to assess Tinubu in terms of what he met on the ground and what we have today. We are going to get into that. Now, the exit of these companies diminished the confidence of people. Recently, you heard about former President Obasanjo talking about an oil company that invested billions of dollars in Angola, overlooking Nigeria. And that company made it clear that the business environment in Nigeria is shrouded in opacity. There's no transparency and accountability in the business environment in Nigeria. That was why that company decided to go and invest in Angola and one other African country, and they ignored Nigeria. Obasanjo hinted about it in his comment in his statement recently on the state of the nation under the Tinubu administration in the last 1 year. Okay, so these are an indication of what the state of the nation under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the last 1 year. Now, let us now look at what Bola Ahmed Tinubu made on the ground and what we are having today. Okay? Because it is important for us to take note of what Tinubu made on ground so that our assessment of him and the last administration, we can be able to know whether we are making progress or not in the last 1 year. When President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was sworn in on May 29, before he was sworn in on May 29, the inflation rate in the country was about 22%. It was about 22%. That was the inflation rate that Bola Ahmed Tinubu made on ground. About 22%. But that was by May 2023. But if you look at the inflation rate in January 2023, the inflation rate was about 20%, 19 point something, about 19.5%. But what is the inflation rate as we are marking 1 year anniversary of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? The inflation rate today, according to the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, National Bureau of Statistics, is 33.69%, roughly 34%. But this, not many Nigerians believe this percentage rate, because many Nigerians believe that the inflation rate is even higher than what NBS is telling us, because Nigerians are the people that wears the shoe and they know where it pinch. They know how there was at a period in time within the year when the cost of the inflation rate on goods keep on rising and changing almost on an hourly basis. So if you ask me, this NBC figure, of course we have seen that the inflation rate has increased dramatically under Bola Ahmed Tinubu compared to Buhari. But if you ask me, it is even higher. The unofficial inflation rate could be up to 50%, going by the cost of goods and services in the country, how the prices have hit the roof. You will discover that some of the goods you used to buy before, the price you pay is almost 300% higher than what you used to get them for. So even if we are to believe the statistics from the NBS, you can see that in terms of inflation, Tinubu has done worse than Buhari. Because don't forget that Buhari himself inherited a single-digit inflation. The inflation rate that Buhari met in 2015 was between 8 to 9%. That was the inflation rate that Buhari met in 2015. 8 to 9% inflation rate. It was a single-digit inflation rate. The double-digit inflation we are now seeing in Nigeria started under the APC administration, beginning from Buhari, and now it's getting worse under Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is the situation in terms of that comparison of the rate of inflation under Buhari and Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, if we want to look at a very important figure in assessing the economy is the interest rate. Ife came, welcome. Thank you for being here. Now, if we look at interest rate, the interest rate in Nigeria The interest rate on May 2023, the interest rate was 18.5%. The interest rate of the Nigerian economy as decided by the Central Bank of Nigeria. May 2023, the interest rate was 18.5%. But as we are marking this 1-year anniversary of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, May 2024, the interest rate is 26.75%, roughly 27%. And you know what that means. It means that the interest rate has increased dramatically under Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What are the implications? The implication means that manufacturers will find it difficult to be able to borrow funds or borrow money to be able to put in their business. Okay, that's why when the MPC met the other day and give us this new interest rate, most manufacturers in Nigeria, Manufacturer Association of Nigeria members, they were crying because they know that it is going to worsen the situation in the country. So in terms of interest rate, and you know, when the interest rate that the banks are collecting is that high, it discourages investors, those who needed financial backup by the banks to be able to go import raw materials, import equipment, and other things that they need to be able to keep this country productive. And you and I know that it is productivity that is actually what is needed to boost the economy and to strengthen the naira. It is not by pursuing bureau de change operators or going to zone 4 or zone 2 or wherever you see some few malams are selling dollars. Those are not the real problem of the naira. The real problem of the naira is the lack of productivity in the country, the lack of export in the country, the too much dependence on importation. Now, when the interest rate is this high, it therefore means what you are doing is making things difficult for the local manufacturers. And at the end of the day, a lot of money will leave this country because we continue to depend on importation to service the needs of our of the economic needs of Nigerian populace. Now, there is a very important factor that determines the price of goods in Nigeria. You know that Nigeria is an import-dependent country. So we import almost 90 or more percentage of what we use in Nigeria. As a result of that, whatever happens in the ports affect all of us, affect our pocket, our purchasing power. Now let us look at the custom duty rate when Buhari was president and the custom duty rate today, so that you'll be able to know why the cost of goods have increased by over 300% in some cases over 400%, as the case may be. Now, in May 2023, the custom duty rate, that is the rate at which they sell dollars for those who are importers who are clearing their goods at the ports in Lagos and elsewhere. In May 2023, the exchange rate for custom import duty or custom duty rate was 589 naira 45 kobo to the dollar. I hope you heard me clearly. In May 2023, the custom duty rate was 589 naira 45 kobo to the dollar. Now, what is the custom duty rate today as at May 2024? it is 1,492 naira 8 kobo to the dollar. Let me repeat it again. The current custom duty rate, May 2024, is 1,492 naira 8 kobo to the dollar. Look at, it's almost about 3 times the amount that was paid under Buhari administration, when the custom duty was 589 naira 45 kobo to the dollar. Today it is 1,492 naira 8 kobo. You now understand why when you go to the market, you discover that 18 of whatever you used to buy before, let me not mention anything, whatever you are buying before, the price have increased by over 400%, 300%. This is the reason why. It was also because of this reason that when the naira depreciated to 2,000 naira to the dollar and began to come down, and Nigerians were asking, why is it that the price of goods and services are not coming down even as the naira was appreciating? It is because while the naira was appreciating, at the ports, people are still paying high custom duty rate to be able to clear their goods. That was why. And you can now understand the situation of the country. Buhari left custom duty rate at 589 naira 45 kobo to the dollar. Tinubu has increased it to 1,492 naira 8 kobo to the dollar. You can now know, between Tinubu and Buhari, who has added more hardship to Nigerians. Of course, in total, Tinubu and Buhari had brought more hardship to Nigeria than ever before. Let us not forget, it was under Buhari administration of the APC that Nigeria became the poverty capital of the world. And even with Tinubu pursuing IMF and World Bank policies of removal of fuel subsidy, flotation of the naira, and what have you, the World Bank and IMF have also warned that more Nigerians, millions of Nigerians are going to join the about 133 million Nigerians that are multidimensionally poor or multidimensionally living in poverty. About 30 million more are going to join them, according to even the World Bank and the IMF, based on the policies of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, removal of fuel subsidy and the flotation of the naira. And it doesn't even end there, because even as Bola Ahmed Tinubu had removed the subsidy, the World Bank and IMF are still claiming that he has not totally removed this fuel subsidy, that he needs to remove it totally. Okay, and they keep on hammering that he must also remove the tariff on electricity. Okay, so he has not impressed even the IMF and the World Bank, who he was following their dictates, and he has totally failed Nigerians as far as the pockets of Nigerians can tell them. Because, like I said earlier on, it is your pockets that will speak to you. When MBS say that inflation rate is about 33% or thereabout, but in your pocket, when you go to the store nearby, you go to the market nearby, you will discover that the inflation rate is almost 50% or more than 50% in some instances. So it is your pocket that will tell you what really is the rate of inflation in the country. But the fact remains that things have gotten worse in the last 1 year than ever before. Now, if we are to also look at what Nigerians were buying fuel under Buhari. Nigerians were buying fuel between 488 naira and 557 naira or thereabouts under Buhari. And that depends on where you are living, whether you are in Abuja or you are living in Lagos. But today, fuel is on the range of 900 naira, 1,000 naira, 1,100 naira, depending on your location. So you can imagine what that had done, the hole that has created in the pockets of Nigerians. It has worsened the state of the Nigerian worker. It has worsened the state of ordinary Nigerian. That is a fact that nobody can deny it. Then if you look at a simple thing like rice that is a major staple food in Nigeria. In May 2023, a 50 kilogram bag of rice, a 50 kg bag of rice was selling for 50,000, 55,000, 60,000, depending on the location and depending on the brand. And that was in 2023. And even at that, it was too high compared to what it was under Jonathan administration, under the PDP administration. Because don't forget that the minimum wage is 30,000 naira. So in a country where the minimum wage is 30,000 naira, and not all the states are paying the minimum wage. Because if you remember, in a state like Kogi State, former Governor Yahya Bello was not even paying the 30,000 minimum wage. He was paying below that. And not to make matters worse, he was also paying in percentages. Some workers will receive 18% of their salary in 1 month. In another month, they will receive 13%. In another month, they will receive 25%, depending on the whims and caprices of those who are in power in Kogi State. So how does a worker survive in that kind of situation where a bag of rice is higher than the minimum wage? So that is the Nigeria we find ourselves. Now, what is the price of 50 kg bag of rice, or 50 kg rice in Nigeria today? I just told you that in 2023, May 2023, the prices of 50 kg was between 50,000, 55,000 and 60,000 naira, depending on the brand and then the location where you are making your purchase. In May 2024, as Bola Ahmed Tinubu is marking his 1 year in office, 50 kg bag of rice, 50 kg, is going between 85,000 naira to 95,000 naira, depending on the brand and depending on the location where you are. Now, this is the price of a bag of rice, and the minimum wage remains 30,000. Federal government is proposing 48,000 naira. Now they have raised it to 60,000. That is still that minimum wage the federal government is proposing is still below the price of a bag of rice right now under Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which is between 85,000 naira and 95,000 naira. Meanwhile, Edo State government, Edo State, a state like Edo, is not a major oil producing state, is now paying 70,000 naira. Now, if Edo can pay 70,000 naira, which is also still lower than a bag of 50 kg rice, why should federal government say it doesn't have the resources to be able to pay? They should be able to pay if they can reduce their greed and if they can reduce corruption. They should be able to pay. And you know that rice is a staple in Nigeria. It's like a food that is available in every man's home. Ought to be, because It is a staple food in Nigeria. Nigerians love rice like so many other African countries and Asian countries. It's a major staple. But you can see it is beyond the reach of Nigerian workers, not to talk of then ordinary Nigerians, the unemployed, those who are not doing anything. Can imagine the situation of the economy. So any country like Nigeria, in which the rice is a staple, and the civil servant cannot be able to conveniently buy a bag of rice, that country, that minimum wage cannot be said to be really the minimum wage. That is slavery. That is what is going on. So federal government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu had better do something to ensure that whatever they are going to pay to Nigerian workers will be enough for them to buy a bag of rice conveniently and have money left to be able to do other things. And you and I know that eating rice is not the only thing that a civil servant or a worker does. He takes care of his family. There are some that have more than one wife, some have up to 10 children, some have 4 wives, several children and all that. And you are giving them a minimum wage. You want them to have a minimum wage of 48,000, 60,000, when a bag of rice is 85,000, 95,000. It doesn't really matter. It showed how they disdain the Tinubu administration and the APC looks at Nigerians. So to avoid, I want to be fast so that we do analyze the security, because I want to end it by looking at the security situation under Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Then we can bring this live stream to an end. Now let us look at security. Now, one of the things that is expected of any government in Nigeria is the provision of security, because the security of life and property is the essence of government. That is the essence. I think that was well spread out in chapter 2 of the 1999 Constitution, that the security and the welfare of the people shall be the essence of governance or government. If you don't provide security, there is no need for a government to exist. Government exists to provide security, because the essence of having government is that you protect the people, so that everybody don't have to be going around with AK-47 and all that. Government should be able to provide security for all of us. Now, in the last 1 year of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, almost 8,000 Nigerians have been killed since Tinubu became president. And this fact I'm giving you can go and cross-check it by the 2023 Nigeria Security Report by Beckham Consulting, an Abuja-based security risk management and intelligence consulting company. You can go and verify their security report for 2023. So under Bola Ahmed Tinubu, almost 8,000 Nigerians have been killed. That is huge. It means that Bola Ahmed Tinubu also have failed in protection of life and property. Now, if this scenario is to continue, in 1 year they kill 8,000 people. It means that in 4 years of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, 32,000 Nigerians will be killed. And if Nigerians did not do anything to stop APC, and APC is allowed to rig the next election and be in power, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu stay there for another 4 years, it means that in 8 years of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, 128,000 Nigerians will be killed in terms of security. That is the projection. Now, let us look at what Bola Ahmed Tinubu inherited under President Muhammad Buhari, 63,111 Nigerians were killed. Let me take it again. 63,111 Nigerians were killed in 8 years of Buhari. Therefore, it means that if the momentum of killings in Tinubu's time continued, Tinubu would have doubled the number of killings that happened under Buhari. As I said, Buhari was 63,111 Nigerians that were killed. And if killings continue in this momentum under Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 8 years, if Nigerians allow APC to get away with all these their shenanigans and they are there for 8 years, 128,000 Nigerians will be killed. Now let us look at under Buhari in his first term, 27,311 Nigerians were killed in his first term. In Buhari's second term, 35,800 Nigerians were killed. Now, if you go by that figure, you find out that if this momentum continued the way they are killing people now under Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he would have more people would be killed under him in his first term than under Buhari. Because if you multiply the 8,000 that were killed in his first 1 year in office by 4 years, what you are getting is 32,000. But under Buhari in his first term, it was 27,311 Nigerians that were killed. So that is how bad the situation is going forward. So that is my own assessment of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's 1 year in office. I don't know what you think, but whatever you think about is the state of the nation under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the last 1 year, you can write it at the comment box so that we can also look at it and find out whether you are right or wrong. But what we have done is to show you with facts and figures. These figures I'm telling you about, you can type it on your computer right now, or you go to Google, just type 63,111 Nigerians killed in 8 years of Buhari. It will pump up. You see it in several newspapers reported in Nigeria. And this figure came from a United States think tank that is based in New York and Washington, D.C. You will see these figures. So these figures we are giving you here, we didn't make them up. These are figures that are already in public space. Only that they don't allow you to know this. But channels like this exist so that you can be able to know some things that the mainstream media may not be telling you about, even as they assess the 1 year anniversary of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I appreciate all of you for being part of this live stream. Thank you, and God bless you and yours. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, my friends. Thank you very much. Thank you. You're all welcome. Goodbye and have a nice day.